Okay, so today we are talking dental claims. So not exciting for the average person. However, if you have ever had a frustrating dental claim or you're going through a frustrating dental claim right this minute, this is going to be very useful to you and very straightforward and may explain some of the problems that you're having with your dental insurance, and is there even a solution for these kinds of problems. So in the past, I've done videos on dental insurance. I've talked about the maxes that are available today. Most people have a $1,000 max benefit. That means the most the insurance company is going to pay out on any procedure is $1,000 in a calendar year. That usually for most people resets every January 1st. So if someone uses their $1,000, let's say in December, and the new year comes around, that max is then reset for January 1st, right? And they have a brand new $1,000 that they can spend. The average plan has not changed since it was founded. I went through the whole history of dental plans in one of my videos. I found it very interesting, but surprise, surprise, not a lot of people want to know the entire history of dental insurance like I did. You know, it started with unions and all that kind of stuff, and it was $1,000 was the average back then, and it's still the average today, which is insane to me. Dental claims are expensive. I mean, implants are very popular. People want to keep their teeth, understandably so, as long as possible, and $1,000 doesn't go very far. It doesn't go very far with a root canal, because with a root canal it's $1,800, and then on top of that you got to get a crown, which is another $1,800. It can get $3,000-$4,000 so fast, and you get $1,000 benefit, and then that's it for the entire year. So one of the first things that is on my list before I even go through all this other stuff that's on my list is, if you can and you know you have dental procedures that are coming up, increase your max. Not everybody can, obviously. Not everyone that's listening to this video is a decision maker. Maybe you work for a company and you just have the plan that they give you. Maybe you are an HR manager and you're looking at ways to improve your benefits without really hurting company costs and increasing expenses too much. Dental insurance is a great way to do it. I mean, okay, you go from $30 a month, let's say, to 40 or $50 a month per employee. It's not a huge expensive, yes, it's a high percentage change on the overall cost of that premium, but the premium is so much less expensive than, let's say, like a medical premium, upgrading the plan. When dollars and cents are looked at rather than percentages, you know, the amount of dollars that go towards upgrading a dental plan is much cheaper than upgrading, let's say, a medical plan, something like that. I think dental insurance is a severely overlooked category in employee benefits, which is why I guess I talk about it more than most people do. And there's also, what I'm going to go over today is some clauses that can be changed. And before you click away, this explains why your claims are being denied. So recently I've had several companies come to me and they have benefits and dental plans that they got set up somewhere else. This is very frustrating. Things aren't being covered, and this is one of the reasons why, is when you set up your dental plan, if you do not ask for some of these things to be waived or included, they're not going to be included in your plan and therefore not be covered. Most people, when they're looking at dental insurance, you're looking at what's my deductible, what's my maximum benefit, what's the percentage of coverage for preventive, basic, and major services, and is ortho covered. And once people go over that, they think they've done their due diligence and just move on. However, there's just these little things that can be changed along the way that I want to bring up. So the first one is the same day clause, meaning if, let's say, a tooth is extracted and it needs to be replaced, you have to do it that same day. Otherwise, it is not covered. Bummer, right? Wouldn't we love to build in at least 30 days, like get the thing extracted and then put the implant in, or do whatever else you're going to do to that area, a bone graft or something like that. Those things have to be done in the same day, otherwise it's not covered on most dental plans, unless you specifically say that you want this modified. You can modify it to 30 days or you can eliminate it altogether. And then the missing tooth clause, this excludes coverage for replacing a tooth that was already missing before your dental insurance started. So let's say I'm missing a tooth in the back, I had it pulled instead of having an implant or something like that, and I had it done last year and I get a new dental plan. My new dental plan isn't going to recognize a tooth that isn't already in my mouth. They say, we're only insuring the teeth that are in your mouth on the day that you sign up for our policy. Okay, so if an employee lost a tooth years ago and finally wants to get a bridge or an implant, insurance may deny the claim unless they had continuous coverage before joining your plan. Also, this clause is particularly problematic for people with prior dental issues and gaps in coverage. So it's usually, they don't care if you had continuous coverage, they usually just deny it. We've got 90th percentile UCR is another one. I think most probably HR people are pretty familiar with this. There are MAC plans and there are UCR plans. UCR plans are slightly more expensive, 5 to 10% more expensive usually, sometimes more, depending on which carrier you're using and how great their MAC plans are. If they have really great MAC plans, upgrading to a UCR plan may not be that big of a deal. But before I drone on anymore and continue to spew insurance-y lingo and mumbo jumbo at you, let me tell you what I was talking about. So the MAC plans are basically fee schedule plans, meaning if you go outside of the dental network, you're gonna be paying based off of a fee schedule. And the fee schedule goes through and predefines exactly how much the insurance company is going to pay for each procedure in network and out of network. So let's say it'll be $60 for a cleaning and your plan shows you've got 100% coverage for preventive services outside of your network and 100% of coverage inside of the network for preventive. So you might see it's 100% whether I go in or out of network. Well, with a MAC plan, if you're going out of network, you're only going to get $60, and most dentists are going to charge 100, 150 plus for cleaning and x-rays and all that. So you are going to be responsible for the difference. So they pay 100% of whatever the MAC is, whatever that fee schedule says. Yes, they're paying 100%, but only 100% of the fee schedule. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's say go to a UCR plan, an 85th percentile, 80th percentile, 90th percentile UCR plan, meaning the insurance company will pay usual, reasonable, and customary charges for your zip code. So if you live in a expensive zip code in LA somewhere, Santa Barbara, somewhere on the coast, Austin, Texas, New York, any of those sorts of places, a UCR plan can really be a great option because your dentists are going to be charging more than any other dentist probably in the country, and you're getting $60 for a cleaning. It just doesn't go very far. So if you have a UCR plan, they will base it off of, let's say, the 90th percentile UCR plan. They'll pay based off of what the 90th percentile of dentists in your zip code charge for a cleaning. So it should be very close to what your dentist is actually charging, right? So that's a great way of upgrading the plan, especially if you have employees or executives in these areas and you may be going out of network for services. It allows better access to care and coverage overall. You could also put endo perio in basic. That's another common trick of the trade for brokers to improve benefits on a dental plan. Out of the gate, cookie cutter dental plans often have endo and perio, endodontics, periodontics, which are gum and root related dental procedures, automatically put into the major category. And most dental plans have a lower coverage for major services. So most dental plans cover major services at 50% and basic services like fillings at 80%. So if we take those endo perio benefits that are usually covered at 50% and move them to the bucket that's covered at 80%, that can help people out a lot. However, I have seen that it usually only helps people when the max benefit is high enough. So for example, if you're having a root canal and that is $1,800 and your benefit is $1,000, getting that covered at 50% versus 80%, you're gonna hit your $1,000 pretty close. Obviously in the 50% category, you know, you'll get like $900, and you know, your max is almost all gone. And then if you just move that over to endo, perio, and basic, and it's covered at 80%, okay, you're getting the full $1,000. It's $100 difference in benefits. And so those little things need to be looked at. I would probably only do that on a plan that maybe has a $1,500 plus benefit, something like that. All right, and then we've got implant exclusions. So most dental plans automatically out of the box, cookie cutter plans do not cover implants. So if you lose a tooth, you need to have a tooth pulled. Those implants are going to be 100% out of your pocket as the patient or as the member, unless your plan has included specifically implants in the coverage, which has to be done right out of the gate, right out of the get-go, and most of the time can only be done with group plans. So an employer can choose to add that. It does cost additional money. And also, again, you want to make sure that your max is large enough to support that. So again, if you have $1,000 benefit, you know, getting $1,000 off of your implant, yeah, it's better than nothing. But we usually see these sorts of additions on plans that have $3,000, $5,000, or there are even unlimited plans now offered where there is no benefit max. So those plans are available. All right, with that, thank you for watching until the end. I do have a link down below if you are an employer, decision maker, HR manager that are looking to upgrade your benefits, do an assessment on your benefits. Are your benefits up to par with today's standards? I'm happy to look over that with you. It is a one-time free assessment though, so take advantage of that. And with that, if you got anything out of the video, I'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.